on, you guys? So, Gervonta Tank Davis, what are they going to do with him? When are they going to put him in some fights that fans care about? It seems like Tank Davis has been one of the main topics in the boxing community. Of course, the lightweight division is on fire right now, and he's one of the main players in that division. But I think boxing fans at this point is tired of Tank Davis just fighting these guys. You know, guys like Isaac Cruz. Now, not to take anything away from Isaac Cruz, he proved to be a guy that belongs in the top lightweights. He proved that. However, going into that fight, fans just didn't know who he was. And in return, the pay-per-view numbers were low. There's a lot of different factors that played into why that fight didn't sell good. But I think one of the main reasons why is because nobody knew who Isaac Cruz was. And it was just another fight for Tank Davis to put on a show and make a lot of money. See, these guys, what they really been doing, Mayweather Promotions, with Tank Davis, is putting him in these showcase fights and they just try to make a lot of money. They're not really moved Tank to be a legacy fighter or anything of the sort. For whatever reason, Tank Davis has all the talent and the skills in the world. However, they're moving him like they got him on training wheels. And for all the sensitive fight fans out there, I am a Gervonta Tank Davis fan. I am a Tank fan. I think Tank Davis is a dope dude. He's one of the dopest fighters in boxing. However, he's not being put to the test. And that's going to be a problem for him in the long run. See, the thing is, people, we're in the moment right now. You know, we're in the moment right now. But in the future, 10 years, 15 years from now, are people going to remember Tank Davis? What are they going to remember him for? Making a lot of money? Well, it's according to people who's all into the numbers, Devin Haney makes more money than Tank Davis does. And if you want to look at some more numbers, Terrence Bud Crawford and Sean Porter just outsold Gervonta Tank Davis, the guy that they're pushing as this star in the sport. But I think that star is starting to get dim. I think that flame, that light is starting to get dim. It's starting to wane down a bit. In order for them to fix this, they got to put Tank Davis in there with somebody the boxing world cares about. It's time. Take the Pampers off. Take the training wheels off. It's time for Tank Davis to fight some damn body. Tank Davis should be a pound-for-pound fighter. He should be a multi-division champion with real titles, not regular titles. Why are they moving Tank Davis up to fight for regular titles? I mean, the Mario Barrios fight was a good fight for him. You know, he tested the waters at 140 and he passed with flying colors. But I thought that fight was a meaningless fight going in. Like, what was the purpose of it? To go up to fight for a regular title. Why not go after the man in the division? Nah, they keeping Tank away from these guys. And it's making Tank Davis look like a fighter that's not willing to fight the best fighters out there. Now, Tank Davis never necessarily come out and say he wants to fight this guy, he wants to fight that guy, because he feels he's at the top. And that's because they blew his head up to think he's some cash cow mega pay-per-view star. In reality, the numbers show otherwise. The numbers showing otherwise. So hopefully this is a reality check for Tank Davis. Like, look, 10, 15 years from now, people are not going to remember you for making money. They'll remember you for the things that you've done. The fighters that you fought, the fights that you've been in, the accolades, the accomplishments. That's what people are going to remember. They're not going to remember you having all this money. And let's be honest, it's not like he's making money like Devin Haney's making. So what are they going to do with Gervonta Tank Davis? Tank Davis has the skills of a pound-for-pound type of fighter. However, you hardly ever see him on anybody's pound-for-pound list. Why? Because they're not moving him in that type of way. Is this by design? And I said this before. Gervonta Tank Davis will never surpass Floyd Mayweather as long as he's under him. Maybe they had good intentions for Tank, and maybe they tried to stretch this thing out for as long as they can, milking the fans. Let's be honest. Leonard and Floyd is milking the fans with Tank Davis. Milking them. He got all these followers, but it's not translating to pay-per-view numbers. It's not translating. They saying reported 50,000. I heard it was around 60, 70. Others said it was on 120, between 120 and 160, but I'm hearing it was really 50. And that's because he's not being put in the fights that fans care about. He's not being put in the fights that people care about. Lomachenko been trying to fight this dude for years. Why ain't you put him in there with Loma? I think one of the biggest mistakes Floyd made recently was telling the boxing world that they're just going to be only making in-house fights. If you're going to just be making in-house fights, then you just need to go ahead and do it. You didn't have to tell the whole world that you're going to do that. But if you're going to make in-house fights only, who are you going to be having Tank fight? Rolando Romero, Christopher Colbert, who else? Who else? Isaac Cruz again? I think Tank needs to go ahead and rematch that guy, honestly. Go ahead and rematch and separate yourself from him just to shut the critics up. It'll probably be a bigger fight this time if promoted right. They didn't even put the pay-per-view on there, and I got a video talking about the pay-per-views. Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley's pay-per-view was on here already for pre-order. Well, actually, it was Tommy Fury when they recently changed it to Tyron Woodley, but that banner was up there early this week, late last week. It was up there for the pre-order. But you couldn't find Tank Davis and Cruz. You couldn't find Crawford and Porter, but I talked about that in another video. I'm just saying. So Tank will have to do the most. He will have to fight the tough fights. He will have to fight the better fighters. The fights that people care about. The Lomachenkos, the Ryan Garcias. I'm not saying he was ducking Ryan or anything. I'm just saying those fights going to have to happen. There's a reason why ESPN and DAZN is really advertising all the fighters on all the platforms, because the lightweight division is hot and we got a lot of talented fighters, and the time for legacy is now. We got a lot. It's very competitive at lightweight, all the way up from the veterans like Lomachenko all the way down to the young guys like Devin Haney. It's very competitive. Hell, even the guys that's outside of the champion level guys may be a factor in that division. It's that competitive. And Tank Davis hasn't fought none of those dudes. He fought a lot of the same guys. And for the sensitive Tank fans, hey man, I'm a Tank fan, but I'm also a boxing fan. I do believe it'll be in Tank's best interest to start going for the better fights, the better, tougher fights. And then with Floyd Mayweather, begging fans to pay for the Isaac Cruz fight on pay-per-view. You begging fans to pay for the fight and not to stream the fight. However, when the fans ask you to put Tank Davis in it with somebody, you tell them, oh no, we making in-house fights and we're not doing this. So you're not giving the people what they want. So how could you come out here and ask for people to buy this fight for Tank Davis? On a Sunday, going up against football, holiday season. You're not necessarily giving the people what they want, but you're begging the people to buy this fight. It just doesn't make sense, man. I think Tank Davis got a lot of thinking to do. He got a lot of thinking to do. He got to go for the bigger fights, the tougher fights, man. All this fighting these guys, the jig is up, man. You know, the jig is up. Tank Davis is a phenomenal fighter. A lot of talent. He's exciting to watch. But he hasn't been in there with a guy that people really care about. And then Tank Davis, other things he say is that he don't want the belts from Kambosos, and he can keep the belts. I think that's the wrong mentality to have for a younger fighter. Tank Davis, well, he's almost 30 now, but he's still he's a young fighter. I think that's kind of the wrong mentality to have. I think you want to grab those belts, whether you feel their trinkets are worthless or not. I think that's part of the sport. I think you need to go ahead and obtain those titles. For legacy reasons, nobody's going to remember you for making $1 million per fight and shit like that, bro. They're going to remember you for the things you accomplished in the sport. So hopefully in 2022, we see Gervonta Tank Davis in there with somebody we care about. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.